questions?
I'm sure they have questions. They probably just need a second to think. And while they think, I want to apologize for the mix-up in the day and the time. And I'm so appreciative that you rearranged your schedule so that we could see your work. Oh, wow. My heart is so warm and so full to see what you're doing and how successfully you're working online with your students. I'm guessing they made their masks at home, correct?
Well, this project, we did it because it's part of our festival we have in the school. Like the teacher said that, well, every year we choose an animal to how to say appreciate, and we have a topic. So this year the Jaguar was selected, and well, for the reason that we are in home and we can do a festival like every year, so we did the mask. And yeah, well, in my case, I did it in my house with the materials that I have. But so, and for example, yeah, it was complicated, some parts to do it, but finally, I really like to do different things like this project.
Gracias, Romina. Romina, my students in Canada, we have done paper mache, and sometimes it's all bumpy. So what's the tip? What's the secret to making it look so nice and smooth?
We have a teacher that the institute is collaborating. The teacher, Gabriel Sosa, is a specialist in the math, and he stay working with we to create a representation in the math. It's uncomplicated, but we work continually and make this for all the students.
Thank you, Santiago. Okay, Donna, your students have questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
So I'm going to admit, first of all, thank you for your presentations. They're very well done and very interesting, and your masks are beautiful. So thank you for sharing that with us. I will admit that the only thing I really learned about Day of the Dead was from watching the movie Coco, the Disney movie. And I wanted to ask if you thought it was a good movie or a good example of your culture and the celebrations of Day and the Dead, or just kind of a silly fun movie.
For me, it's a great representation of our culture because here, well, we don't celebrate it exactly like the movie, but we celebrate it by going to the graveyard and staying. Well, I do it like that. I'm not sure if everybody does it, but I celebrate by going to graveyard and visiting our families that passed away and putting some flowers. The flowers are called cempasúchiles. They are very pretty, and they come in different colors like orange and yellow, like those tones of color. And we stay there a night, like visiting our families, and we stay there a day, and then the other day we go to our house again. And my grandma's tradition is to put some alcohol in our table, and the dead people are supposed to go there and drink it. So it's like kind of for me it's kind of creepy, but yeah.
Okay, thank you, Lily. Some other question? Thank you, Nicole.
I had a question. Oh, go ahead. Oh, sorry. I was going to ask, first of all, thank you so much for your presentations and all of your work and showing us your math. That's so great. I was wondering if sometimes if people are sad because they're remembering their loved ones who died, or if it's always a happy festival.
I think, well, in my family, every year we decorate the house, well, grandma's house. We put the altar, and yeah, I had relatives that we remember every year, but well, we believe that our relatives um, are always with us, and we try to remember the good things and the good moment that we had together. So for us, it's special because we have opportunity to remember and maybe feel the their presence. I don't know how to explain, but yeah, for us is something special. Well, it's a reason to be happy.
Thank you, Romina. Thank you, Miss Amy. Miss Jacqueline, you have a question?
Yeah, I was just going to ask if the whole city shuts down for Day of the Dead. Like, do people go to work and school, or most stores closed, or just restaurants open?
Yes, we have day off in this celebration. 1 and 2 of November.
Yes, thank you, Axel. Yes, on November 1st and 2nd, we don't work, or schools close. But in this year, November 1st is Sunday. So November 2nd, we don't have classes and we don't go to work. Okay, thank you very much. Any other question, Miss Donna?
I actually have a question. Thank you, everyone, for sharing your presentations and your works of art with us. They were very, very impressive. I was just actually going to ask, what is your favorite part of the celebration of Day of the Dead? What's your favorite part?
Who wants to answer that? What is your favorite part of the celebration? Axel, go ahead.
Again.
Okay.
The mask. I like mask.
Okay, the mask. What else?
Of the celebration or the presentation?
The celebration.
The food.
The food.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Okay, Mia, go ahead.
With my family, I usually go out with my family to walk to Santo Domingo.
Okay.
And eat food and
I like the altar because it has a lot of candy, a lot of fruits, and the second, I guess, or the second is to honor the kids that passed away, and the first is for the adults that passed away.
Okay. Thank you, Lily. Okay, Lily?
It's not a question, but it's a comment that here in Mexico, but in Oaxaca, we do something called las muerteadas. That it's where people, mostly men, dress up as women or as a monster and start dancing. And we usually start in a church, and we like go around our city. Well, not our city, our town city, and we go to the nearest graveyard and we dance there. And then we like dance all the night, but we take some breaks, and in the graveyard we sit and drink some. Well, I drink something called ponche, that it's like tea but with fruits, and it's really good. Yeah, it's delicious.
Okay, thank you, Lily. Students, the Coubertin students, some questions to the teachers?
Yeah, I have a
Okay.
question. Well, I would like to know how do you celebrate or you have a relation like we have here with the Day of the Dead with our relatives? Do you have a kind of relation or celebration that maybe have a relation with your relatives that are not here?
Okay. Do you understand the question? Do you have like we have this relationship like the Day of the Dead? Do you in Canada have this kind of activities or this kind of celebration?
Who wants to answer?
What?
I can try.
Yes. Okay.
We have a few different holidays. Nothing I would say that makes it all in one. We have a Father's Day, a Mother's Day for honoring and celebrating our parents. The same can be, and they are quite important. And then I know in my family there is a day called Remembrance Day, and that's for November 11th, and that's for remembering people who were in the army. And in my family, that was always a very, very significant day. So there's nothing so much, I think, that's all at once, but I think there's lots of days that are about celebrating family and and being together. I hope that helps a little.
Thanks, Scott. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'll add on to that. I don't think there's a day like Day of the Dead where there's one day where we celebrate the family that's not with us. But in my family comes from Portugal, so we have a lot of the Catholic and Portuguese traditions. But I think maybe this is across most people in Canada. We tend to celebrate those who are not with us kind of on the anniversary of when they died. So we have a celebration or remember them on that day every year. We visit their grave if they have the graveyard here in Canada, or we, do something to think about them. And that's kind of, I don't know how other people might celebrate, but that's what we do in our family.
Yeah, anyone else want to add?
There's also, we recently started a new holiday called Family Day. And so we're encouraged to spend the day with our families. It's a holiday that we have now. So we go out and we can have a fun day with our families. So that's not a remembrance celebration for if they're gone, but it's a day to celebrate and spend time with your family that you have.
Okay, thank you.
My mic wasn't working before. I don't know. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just to go off of what Nicole said with all in like Catholic tradition. So on November 2nd, on the Catholic calendar, it's actually called All Souls Day. So usually, there's no celebration like Day of the Dead, but people do go to the cemetery and visit their loved ones who have departed. A lot of Catholic schools do have their own celebration where they do like readings from the doing like a rosary. So they'll pray the rosary and they'll talk about like feast days and that kind of stuff. So we do, like, the Catholics do have, I guess it's like the same as Day of the Dead, where they are thinking about souls that have departed.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, last question, Lily.
The last question, Lily.
What about Thanksgiving Day? Is it also a day to remember people that passed away, or why do you celebrate Thanksgiving?
Oh, it was Amy. Amy, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, thanks. So Thanksgiving, it's not to remember people, but it's to have a dinner with your family or your friends, and then to talk about what you were grateful for. So maybe you have a lot of stress from school, and and work, and maybe it's difficult, but you take a minute, you enjoy a meal with friends, and you all talk about what good things you have in your life.
Okay, thank you.
And I think it connects to your Gualaquetza, your festival in July, where you're thankful for the harvest and the rain. In Canada, our harvest comes in the fall, so it's the time to be grateful for all the food that has come, and now it's time to rest.
Okay, okay. So Miss Donna and teachers, thank you very much for taking the time and listen to my students. It is like a really, I really appreciate you take the time. This is a very good opportunity for them, and it's like a very nice experience for them to speak what they are learning, and then they can put it into practice. I really appreciate your time, and thank you very much for listening to them. Okay?
De nada, gracias. We enjoyed
Okay,
very
so
much. Okay.
have a nice day, and thank you very much.
Adios. Maybe again we can do this.
Yes, one more time.
Bye, everyone.
Maybe a Christmas festival or something.
Gracias. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Adiós.
See you.
Adiós.